my name is Tim. I'm a 34-year-old man. So you can just assume things about me, right? Now that you know my age, you can start making assumptions. Like, for instance, as a 34-year-old, you guys can just assume that I'm super enthusiastic about internet pornography, right? I love pornography. I don't care for strip clubs, which people find weird. I've been in Montreal for a long time. Like, when I was a kid, my mom moved here for work, so, like, I've been going to strip clubs since I was 6, right? Because daycare's expensive. But tourists love Montreal strip clubs, right? Because we have the thing called full contact lap dancing, which is a provincial law in Quebec that means if you walk into a strip club and you see a stripper you like, you're legally allowed to touch her anywhere on the body you want, and it only costs you $20 a Bon Jovi song, right? But recently, my buddy had a bachelor party. We all ended up at a strip club, and he was like, let's get some full contact lap dances. And I was like, no way, man. I am a married guy. I am not gonna do something that's sexual and awful for strippers, right? But because I'm a comedian and I'm a funny guy, I said, I will get a full contact lap dance, but instead of doing something sexual, I will play a practical joke that will be hilarious for me and probably still pretty awful for the stripper. We're gonna do it. So here's what you do if you want to do this practical joke I invented. Here's what you do. You walk into a strip club, find a stripper, pay her $60 to spend the next 12 minutes with her, right? And she'll take you somewhere. Now you're legally allowed to touch her anywhere on the body you want. This is all perfectly normal and legal. Here's the practical joke, and it's hilarious, is for the entire 12 minutes, you only touch her in the face. They really hate it, I promise you. If you just sit there for 12 minutes going, you're pretty. She'll be like, why won't you touch my boobs? What's wrong with you? And you go, shh, you have 11 minutes left, so shh. And then she'll be like, oh, did you go to KFC this afternoon? This is disgusting. So I own a car. Thank you, everyone. If you own a car, you'll know this to be true. Gas is very expensive, right? What happened was the United States invaded Iraq, and then the price of gas doubled, right? And that was terrible. So now, I hope they don't invade China, or everything at the dollar store will be more expensive. Right now in the States, they're building a giant wall along the southern border to keep Mexicans out, and that's very stupid. What they should have done instead of a wall, they should have built, starting at the southern border, a giant bridge coming right out of Mexico, over top of America, and then ending in Canada, right? And then we'd stand on this side and be like, come on in, Pedro. Andale, buddy, get over here. We've got a new word for you to learn. It's Winnipeg, come on. Right? Yeah, and then 4 years from now, we would have a team in the World Cup of soccer. You mark my words. So I drive a good car now. I have a 2010 Mitsubishi. It's got doors and anti-lock brakes and like 17 airbags. I think I'm gonna get into an accident on purpose because that sounds comfy. It's amazing. It's very different than when I started driving as a 17-year-old. I had the classic thing, my first car, right? I did the classic thing as a 17-year-old where I went to my dad and I was like, Dad, I really want to have my own car. However, I only have $500, right? And then my dad did the classic dad thing where he's like, no problem, son. You give me that $500 and then I'll match it. And then together, we will buy you a deadly piece of shit that's sure to kill you inside of a month. So in our group, before I got my car, the car we always borrowed was my buddy Chris's mom. She had a Nissan Sentra. So we would go to her and be like, Mrs. Donnelly, can we borrow your car? And she'd be like, okay, but you look after it. And we'd be like, whatever, Mrs. Donnelly. And then we'd drag race it against Honda Civics and lose. And we thought we were the coolest, getting away with everything, being bad, until one day, there's 4 of us in the car, one of our buddies drops a cigarette in the back seat of Chris's mom's Nissan Sentra, puts a cigarette burn in her back seat, right? So we panic. This is the end of our world, right? Oh no, Chris, we're dead. We just ruined your mom's car. She doesn't even know we smoke. Oh my, what do we do, Chris? We're dead. We're freaking out. My buddy Chris has never been better. He just stayed totally calm and was like, guys, don't panic. I know what to do. And then he went and he got himself some Krazy Glue. And he just took that middle seat belt that cars have, that doesn't have a shoulder strap, it's just a middle seat belt. And he just Krazy glued it right on top of the cigarette burn. So we were all like, so it'll just stay like that forever? And he was like, nah, my mom will find it a week from now and pull on it and be like, oh, I guess I put a hole in my back seat. Yeah. And we were like, you are a genius, buddy. You are going places in life. And that man is now Prime Minister Stephen Harper. Guys, thank you very much.